Here to stay, man. But yeah. What's going on, guys? My name is Brian B.Dot Miller. As a music journalist, I've interviewed some of the biggest names in the game, and this evening will be no exceptions. Yeah, that's right, man. Not only is this guy one of the greatest producers of all time, but he also has the resume to back it up. You know, I like to call him Boi-1da because I think he's one of the GOATs, but you know, y'all know him by a different name. So with that being said, I want to introduce the living legend, one of the greatest producers of all time. Please make some noise for Canada's own Boi-1da. Yeah. Give me one of those Boi-1da beats. Anyone, man, pick a beat. Yes, sir. Which we want to sit right here? Yes, sir. Make some noise for Boi-1da, man. Came all the way from Toronto to sit with us. You can't. No tariffs here though, man.
No. 25% tariffs on beats, man.
Oh shit. Damn Trump. Well, first and foremost, Wanda, congratulations on winning the International Achievement Award at the Junos last week. Make some noise for that, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Now that award has only been given out 8 times over the last 30 years. Like, how does winning that stack up against all the plaques and the Grammy that you had?
No, that was kind of crazy because when I seen like the names of the other people that have won the award, like Celine Dion, Alanis Morissette, was it Arcade Fire, Drake, Shawn Mendes, it's like, you know, and to see my name amongst that is just like, it's one of the greatest honors, and to be honored in front of my country, in front of everybody, it was just a moment, man, and I really appreciated it, you know.
What was your reaction when you heard that you were going to receive the award?
I was the same reaction now. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, because I'm not sitting there, I'm in the category with Alanis Morissette and Celine Dion. All right, it's lit. It's up.
That's up. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, I know you say you don't like to see your awards, right? So, where do you keep them?
I have a room in my house. It's like a little hallway room. I put all my awards there. Some people like putting their awards in the studio and stuff, but like you said, I don't like seeing awards. I just like to be starting from scratch all the time. I don't really like seeing accomplishments and awards because I feel like I have so much more in store and so much more to go. Although I've done a lot, yeah, and I appreciate it, but like I just don't even want to see it. I just want to keep going and go off the perspective that I don't have anything, you know, and it drives me.
So if you see the Grammy on eBay, I'm buying it. But now, you're truly an architect of an era, man, and like for the majority of our lives, most of our adult lives, we've been living in the Wonder years, so to speak, right? Like, you're responsible for 60 platinum songs. God damn. 60 platinum, 7 diamond records, and over 20 billion streams.
Wow, that's crazy. It's actually nuts.
You can make some noise for that. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
And I saw a post, right, that says statistically, with all respect to Bob Marley, you're the most successful Jamaican musician of all time. Like,
I don't know about more than Bob, though.
I did the math. For real, I did the math. 75 million for Bob, and I think you're kind of more responsible for more records.
Damn, well, that's great.
Well, when you hear stats like that, like, what is your reaction?
Yeah, I like same reaction, man. It's like it's dope, but I feel like I have like more to go. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of what I'm really trying to do and what I'm trying to get out. You know, but damn, I'll take that for sure. But you know, Bob is legendary. There's been a lot of legendary artists out of Jamaica. Bob, Sean Paul, Beanie Man, Sean Paul, yes. So it's an honor, man, and you know, I feel like, you know, I rep hard for Jamaica, so you know, yeah. I'm always trying to make everybody in Jamaica proud. So.
It seems like you're taken back by your own success sometimes.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to it. That's why, you know, like just tunnel-minded going forward. So when I hear it, I've never heard that stat before. So when I did hear it, I was like, whoa, you know. I think there are people that have their opinions on that. I've heard like an opinion on that, but I didn't know like. You know what you just told me.
Right, that's crazy, man.
As well.
Was Best I've Ever Had your first platinum single?
I believe so, yeah. I think Best I've Ever Had was the first platinum song I ever had. That was probably the most successful song, my first like breakout hit I've ever had.
Right. What was it like hearing that on the radio for the first time?
You know, at the time when that came out, the internet wasn't too big. Well, for me at least, I wasn't really on the internet like that. But you know, at the time when I made that record, I was in my parents' basement. So I still live with my parents, and you know, I had Drake had a run of shows, and I ended up going to Atlanta to go check out one of his shows. And I would get off the plane and get in the cab, and I would hear that song. I went to go shopping. I heard that song. I went everywhere I go. I heard that song. So being a kid that was just in his mom's basement, not really paying attention to anything. And then everywhere I went to New York, I went all over the place, and I was constantly hearing that song. I really like, I was like, damn, oh shit, I got one, you know? Like, I did lit. Yeah, it's lit, it was up. My phone wouldn't stop ringing from publishers, you know? So I knew it was up at that point.
Some things never change, man. You know, producers from the 90s, even the 2000s have like limited shelf lives, or like just that hot white moment.
Yeah.
How have you been able to maintain your relevancy?
I've been able to maintain it just from having the mentality to just move forward and move on to something else, you know, like I've always, whenever I've caught success with something or anything, I'm always in the mentality of the next and something different, and like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I've set some trends with music, and then as soon as I do it and I hear everybody else doing it, I'm on to some other shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's always something completely different. Like, I'm just like, I want to do something random that like nobody else is doing, and just, you know, I'm a free spirit with music, so I just go wherever it takes me.
So you don't necessarily follow the trends, you kind of set them.
Yeah, I think it's important to set trends because I feel like I'm a leader in music, and I think it's very important to set trends because, you know, not everybody is a leader. You know, like not everyone is a leader. So being a leader myself, I think you have to lead by example, and you know, just show people that your mind can be more open and you can create different sounds, do different vibes. It doesn't always have to be the same thing, you know. So that's always my mentality, which is just forward thinking.
Yeah. I like your mentality, man, because I remember a year ago, I was on Instagram Live, right? And you left a comment. You said, "I am the best producer of my era."
Yep.
Chest out. I agree. You know, what do you think makes you the best amongst your peers?
I think just the diversity, the open-mindedness. You know, I could do multiple genres.
Yeah.
I've made rap, R&B, country, pop, shoot, like, and I feel like I can make any type of music. Like, I just got a reggaeton. Hey, listen, I've been making what is it? Dembo. You know, I've been working on Dembo. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just as soon as I hear something and I like it, I'm like, oh, let me figure this out. And you know, and not to disrespect anybody, but you know, a lot.
Fuck him.
He said it.
I said it. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, I just like to do different stuff, and I don't feel like a lot of people are open-minded, you know, like, and that's no disrespect to anybody. You know, you have your thing, you have your sound, and you stick to it, but I feel like I can go into any lane and just go crazy, you know what I'm saying?
But despite your success, do you feel like you're overlooked?
Oh yeah, for sure, but that's because I don't really put myself out there like that. It's kind of like my own fault, to be honest, but you know, it's all about the music for me, you know? I'm not really trying to be like in music videos and like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put myself out there like that. It's really all about the music to me and the quality of music and good music, you know? So, yeah, you know, people could bounce around and look cool all they want, you know what I'm saying? But for me, the music focus is first.
I did like that cameo Started From the Bottom though, that was fire.
I liked it because it was funny, you know? I wasn't trying to be cool at all. I was like, they told me like they told me what to do, and I kind of switched it up. I had my own ideas of getting 1,000 boxes of condoms and slapping them out. They were for a friend, by the way. They're for a friend, not for me, not for me.
Yeah, when Jessie Reyes presented you with the Juno Award, she said you're one of the reasons the sounds of the Six is on the map, right? Do you feel the weight of that responsibility?
I used to, but at this point, there's so much going on from the city. There's so much amazing producers. Like T-Minus just came off the stage. Diesel was on the stage. There's Elangelo. So much Wonder Girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mentored like Matt Burnett, Jordan Evans, Wonder Girl.
Evans, Matt Burnett. There's so much producers creating their own waves and their own sounds and their own paths. So I don't feel like it's all on me anymore because I feel like I've done what I've done, and I'm just gonna continue to just have fun with it and do what I do, but there's so much going on from the city right now, and I'm so proud of everybody doing their thing from the city and making their own waves and going on their own paths. So I feel like Toronto and Canada in general, they have like a whole like thing going on, and you know, it's not all on me anymore, you know?
Right.
Or 40, you know?
Right, for someone that's been living under a rock, like how do you describe the sound of the Six being Toronto? Like, do you feel like it still has a sound?
I feel like Toronto has many sounds. You know, I feel like Canada in general is a melting pot of culture. You know, like if you ever went to Toronto, or if you've ever been to Canada, you go to a club and they don't just play one type of music. They play, you'll go to a club, you'll hear reggae, you'll hear R&B, rap, dancehall, soca, you know, and then it's like the Indians chill with the Jamaicans, the Italians chill with the Trinis, like everybody's together and everybody's tapped in with the music, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, with that being said, it's a melting pot of culture, and we don't technically have a sound, we have sounds, you know, and it derives from like different cultures, you know?
Was there a moment where you felt like the sound changed sonically?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Drake brought like a very unique signature sound with the moody, you know, the moody.
Cold up there, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like 7 months of winter is crazy, you know, it's not fun for anybody.
Right.
You know, so he brought that moody sound, and you know, he ended up evolving many different times. You know, there's so much different versions of Drake, but he brought that sound that kind of popularized it, and then I feel like there's so much things that spawned from that. And yeah, it's just beautiful. You know, it's like now there's different types of sounds, artists that come from Toronto, and everybody sounds different.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned some of the producers like Wonder Girl and Mad and Jordan, and those guys at the time were up and coming. You mentored them. At this point in your career, like what makes you want to mentor a new producer?
I find like a fascination with just young, hungry producers, because they make me want to keep going. You know, like I always there's always a new producer that I have and that I mentor, and that, you know, like it's just more fun because I've been doing this for so long. It's like 20 years now,
right?
And it's like, you know, like I don't want to sit in the studio by myself making music all the time. It's kind of like I could do this in my sleep, you know. So it's fun being around the different type of energy, younger energy, different styles of energy, and it's just motivating to me. And I just like to see other people win, you know.
I know there's a lot of producers here. Like, when do you realize or recognize a person has the it factor for you to mentor them?
It's just like something I hear. It's like, you know, like if you approach music from a completely different, like, you know, not to disrespect anybody, but there's like a lot of producers that are dope, but it's like cookie cutter dope, you know what I'm saying? Like producers that I gravitate towards are like guys that do stuff outside of the box. They come with different bops and just like creative thinking and with beats and with music ideas, writing, whatever it may be, you know. And that's what makes me want to just, you know, I found like you know, Matt, Jordan, all these guys are always like just musically inclined. Jordan Evans had amazing music taste and ideas and just bops, and like, you know, it would inspire me. And then when we all got together, we'd all put our minds together and create special moments with music.
Right. It's dope that you have Wonder Girl underneath your wing, because you don't see too many female super producers these days.
Yeah, and she's the best. Like, she's the best to me. Like, she's different, man. I'll link up with her and she'll play me some music, and I'm like, are you okay? Like,
she's an alien.
Yeah, she's definitely an alien, man. She's different. So she's one of my favorite producers ever, and like, she's one of the best to me personally.
Absolutely. Now let's go back to your origins, right? You start off making beats in your bedroom, like you said, mentioned with Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like everybody was using that software at the time. Why was that like the go-to software of the day?
I feel like Fruity Loops was go-to because it was just easy and simple to use, you know? Like, I feel like if I explain Fruity Loops to you for like 10 minutes, we'll get some B.Dot beats, you know what I'm saying? Like some
Test me.
Like, I feel it's just easy to use, but I don't discriminate against anything anybody uses. I feel like it's all the same, and it's like up to the imagination. Like, whatever you could do with your imagination, if you can put that out there, it doesn't matter what you use, to be honest.
Did you have an interest in production prior to Fruity Loops?
No, actually, I was really interested in like movies, and prior to that, I was interested in, like, I wanted to be like a film writer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like I don't know where that went. Yeah, like I was just interested in like movies. I loved watching movies, and I would come up with ideas for movies.
What's some of your favorite movies?
At those times, like I really loved like Steven Spielberg movies.
Okay.
Like Jurassic Park. I really loved Guy Ritchie. He was a dope director. Yeah, he like Snatch. Yeah, Madonna's Ex-Husband. Like Snatch was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love the way he would do certain scenes and stuff like that. He was really dope. Yeah, like I just like movies in general. A lot of superhero movies and horror flicks too. I'm a big horror movie guy.
Okay.
I don't know why, but like I love horror movies. Like I grew up on it. My mom used to watch them all the time, so I kind of like them. You know?
I feel like scoring a movie should be in your near future.
Oh yeah. No, I've scored a few. Scored a documentary. I scored Spider-Man for what's it called PS5. Spider-Man Miles Morales for PlayStation 5. I did a lot of music with John Paisano.
Okay.
Me and him did all the music for that game. So.
Dope. And you taught yourself how to use that software too, right? On the parents' computer?
Yeah.
I know it's just that one family computer, right?
Yeah, I put many viruses on that computer, man. Trying to download virtual instruments and
on dial-up at that.
Dial-up, bro. Somebody pick up the phone and just ruin the whole vibe. You know?
Right. Yeah, how would you describe your production during those times?
It's just free. Like, you know, I feel like at that time, production was very free. Like, whereas I feel like now it's a lot of, like, it's 808 out, 808 out, you know, a lot of 808s. But I feel like at those times, like, sounds were more free. Everybody would you know, you could differentiate producers. Like, if you heard a Timberland beat, you automatically know it's a Timberland beat.
Yeah.
You automatically know it's Pharrell, Scott Storch, Dr. Dre, in those times, you know what I'm saying? So, I just feel like it was a little bit more free, and like I said, not to disrespect the movie. I love me some 808s, but you know, it's kind of hard this day and age to tell who's who.
Right.
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. Do you ever go back and listen to your old beats and maybe like refurbish them?
Yeah, they're trash, so I have to refurbish them. The old beats are garbage. Yeah, so no, I've been doing that recently, and like to be honest, I've repackaged like some older beats and made them into some pretty cool ideas. Some that have came out. For instance, I did a song with Rick Ross some years ago. It was called Lil Havana.
Oh, yeah, I know that, right?
And I think I made that beat, and the idea for that beat was made in like 2007.
Wow.
And I reopened it and just made it brand new. And that was like a old beat that I turned new.
Wow. Okay. Do you know how to play any instruments?
No, I don't.
Wow.
I don't know how to play any instruments. I don't know a C sharp from a D flat, but I just know how to make shit sound good. So.
Right. I know you did pioneer releasing drum kits though, right? How that was released?
I think that might be subjective, because I did say that, but I'm like, I don't know. There might have been somebody that dropped the drum kit before me, but I might have been one of the first to do it for free.
Popularized it.
Yeah, I think so. For sure.
It's fair enough. And I saw in a previous interview, you said you're not chasing the rabbit of a hit, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are some ingredients to a hit? What are some of the ingredients to a hit?
You know what? It's different every time, because music is always changing. So you don't know. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to be a hit. But if it feels good, it feels good. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell this day and age. You know, like you don't know what's going to be a hit. But sometimes it's just a hit. But I will say this though. Appeal is a big thing when it comes to hits. If an artist or somebody's saying something that people want to say, usually it hits. You know?
Do you think it's scary to have a hit record?
Depending on what type of person you are and how you can handle that. You know? Some people will be like, I got a hit, like you get like big-headed, get swollen, you know? But like, it just depends on like how you handle the hit.
Right. Do you feel like the pressure of following up a hit record?
At this point, no, because I've had so many hits, I don't feel any pressure of following up a hit. I'm just making music at this point. I'm having fun right now.
Right. So how does Boi-1da start a track? Like, what's your approach?
It's different every time, you know. Literally, I just go in the studio like my aimlessly. A lot of the time, unless I'm like working on something specifically.
Yeah.
But still, I go in there and I'm just like, I'm gonna just create. I don't want to just put myself in a box like, okay, I'm gonna make something for Beyonce and like live in that box. I literally just go in the studio majority of the time and throw paint at the wall, and whatever sounds great, and it sticks.
Yeah. And when it comes to samples, like, what do you look for? Like, are you like digging in the crates at some dusty record shop? Like,
I mean, with the internet nowadays, you don't really have to do that. Like,
true.
I do a lot of YouTube sampling.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do go to record shops still though. Like, you know, and I have a little record player that you could drag the vinyl off and put it to like MP3. But yeah, for the most part, man, if I hear like a sample or anything, I just usually rip it off YouTube.
I feel like you Shazam things all day. Is that like your life?
Yes, I do. Shazam everything. I'll just be walking around using Shazam if I hear shit. Yeah.
When do you know? So when do you know when the track is done? Like, when do you know it's ready to go?
To be honest, it's almost unexplainable. It's like you just kind of know at this point. It's hard to explain. Like I used to struggle with putting too much into a song or too much into a beat, and now I don't know. It's like my mind has been trained to know like exactly, you know, having the balance in the middle ground and having just the right amount of sounds. I treat it like almost as like creating the canvas for an artist. So you can't have a canvas with too much on it or anything on it. You know, you want to create like a pretty basic canvas so the artist can actually paint his picture on the canvas. Right. You got too much going on. It's like, you know, you have sounds with like lead melodies going everywhere. Like how can a writer write to like sounds just going everywhere? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just make it basically not basic, but you know, find that
not too much seasoning, just enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Right.
Is the right word. You got it.
Got you. Now, a person that has been central to your success is Drake. Some of you guys might have heard of Drake, right? Yeah.
He's alright, right?
He's a pretty good rapper. Now, I like during you know, your Juno Award speech, you emphasized his greatness.
Yep.
You know, you said he's the greatest rapper of all time, he's the greatest artist of all time.
Yep.
Why was that messaging important?
I think that messaging is important because I think he is, and it's like, you know, we're in some weird time where, you know, people are spinning strange internet narratives like he didn't fucking give you guys summer after summer after summer after summer after summer.
I was there.
Like moments and hits, but all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, like fuck out of here. So he's the greatest ever. You know what I'm saying? He's the greatest artist ever to me, and he's been here for fucking 20 solid years, giving us moments, still giving us moments.
Right.
And that's not to be like, and he's from Canada, you know? I'm on the stage at the Junos. Junos is basically, for anybody that doesn't know, is the Canadian Grammys down there, and it's like, you know, the amount of doors that man has opened for people and how much jobs he's created and opportunities for nothing. He never had to, and you know, he did that for me. So, you know, I got on that stage and I just spoke from my heart because I'm like, yo, like, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be this far if it wasn't for you. And it's like, it seems like everybody forgets. So I just wanted to like swiftly remind everybody, you know, so I did that and I said what I said. You can go argue with the wall. Find the tallest wall and go argue with that shit. Words, go.
There you go. You said after hearing a few of his songs those early years that you know he was going to be one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Yeah.
Like, what was it about him during that time that made you believe that?
And I've been saying that.
Yeah,
I've been saying that. You could T-Minus is here. You could ask him. Like I said that from I was saying that from like 05.
Yeah.
And I think he's the best ever. So he just has the ability to put himself in a song and like spill himself in a song and let you like feel exactly what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at songs like Fear, classic song to me because I remember at those times everything he was talking about in that song, everything he was going through at that time. And I remember when he played me that song, and I was like, bro, like your ability to put your life into a song and speak so clearly without having to like pick apart and decode everything, like I can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just thought, like, I was just like, man, you're the best to do this because you put your message out there so effortlessly.
I think that's one of Drake's superpowers, that when he rhymes, it's digestible. When you hear everything he's saying, it's really conversational.
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z also has that.
Yes, he does. He does, both of them. Like, it's really a gift to say something and like, I understand what you're saying.
It's clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. So, he had that gift, and I've always appreciated that about him, because the first song I ever heard from him, he was talking about receipts, and you know, like I'm like, yo, I mean, it came up in a time where 50 Cent and gangster rap was popular, but we got this guy rapping about his receipts and his girlfriend, and like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, he just did that in such a cool way. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, he's just the GOAT, man.
When it comes to developing your sound, do you think it's important for a producer to like lock in with just one artist, or kind of like diversify yourself?
Me personally, because I'm a guy that, you know, I'm a fan of Pharrell, I'm a fan of Timberland. I grew up with guys like Scott Storch, like listening to their stuff, and they were very diverse. They would work with multiple different artists. It's definitely cool to lock in with an artist and beneficial, but also, you know, it's cool to go outside sometimes, you know, and expand the palette, you know, and just have fun, you know, and you could either do both ways, man. It's no pressure or nothing, but it's like you can either lock in with an artist or lock in with many artists. I don't think any way is wrong.
Right.
You know, both ways are good.
Right. Another artist, you know, outside of Drake that you've extended your talents with is J.Cole.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Make some noise for J.Cole, of course. You know? Yeah. The album that comes to mind is the Off Season. You know, he opened up the album with two of your tracks, 95 South, and closed it with Hunger on Hillside. Yeah. Can you talk about creating those records?
Man, that was a crazy time, because that was like the COVID era, right?
Yeah.
And I had
coming out of the COVID era a little bit.
Yeah, coming out of it, but I had COVID at that time. I was like, I was dying. Like, it's crazy. I was literally like, I caught COVID. I was literally in my bed for like weeks, and Cole hit me like, yo, need some shit. And I was
I think I'm dying.
I didn't, like, you know, Cole doesn't usually hit nobody, and it doesn't hit me. So I'm like, yo, listen, Cole hits me. I'm like, I'm gonna get up and figure something out. You know what I'm saying? So I crawled myself to that basement, bro. I crawled down to that basement, and I cooked up the beef for 95 South, half dead, like I promise you. And then even I recovered a little bit, and I remember working on Hunger on Hillside, and I had sent him like a video clip of the beat when I was working on it, and he was loving it. He was like, yo, send me that immediately, I need that, you know? So, and he ended up, when he finished both the songs, ended up playing it for me on the phone.
Wow.
And I was just like, wow, and yeah, it was like, that was a flu game for me, bro. Yeah.
How many beats did you send him?
I said, maybe I probably like 5, but those 2 were like ones that I really, was like, I was really sure about those 2. You know?
Or did you know Cameron was gonna be at 95 South?
Nah, I didn't know. I didn't know about Cam on the intro or nothing. Like, I heard what he did, and then after, when the song came out, he had different elements to it. And you know, I trust J. Cole. He's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest, period.
Yeah.
To touch a mic, and he's a great producer as well. So I just, you know, I left it in his hand, and he delivered.
Yeah, I love the way he ends it on the Hunger Hillside. It feels like black superhero music every time I hear it.
Yep. Word. Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Now there's a clip though, Wanda, of you in the studio with Cole. You know I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? And you have this shocked look on your face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, what the fuck did you just do? Can you explain what that clip is?
Bro, that guy is different. That's all I'm gonna say. Jermaine Cole he's a different guy. He did a record on something that I did that the verses were just some insane verses. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to spill anything, but you know, the video says a lot anyways. I'm in the room. He went absolutely batshit crazy.
Wow.
And if you can see the reaction of everybody in the room in that video. I think my boy Matt was like, bro, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? Like,
right.
He went crazy, so that's all I'm gonna say.
So I'm gonna say? Okay.
So I
got my tinfoil hat on, so I think I know where you're going with that. All right. But it's also another standout moment from last year in particular, Future, Metro Boomin, Princess Diana, and Magic Juan.
Yep.
How did you land on that album?
You know, just you know, before everything happened, you know, I always had like a good relationship with Metro. Me and him have made a few beats together. We did Live from the Gutter on What a Time to Be Alive. Me and Metro we were always like tapped in and stuff like that. And that was a record that we had done. I actually made that beat in the Dreamville camp.
Oh wow!
When they had the Dreamers camp.
Yeah.
We got everybody in there. I made that beat in there with Honorable Sino.
Wow.
And yeah, me and him just got in the room together and cooked up, and you know, I knew Metro and Future were working on their joint, so I had sent that over to him, and he was like, yo, I wanna, he's like, send me the little zip, I wanna do my thing on it, so I sent it over to Metro and he killed it. And
Man, that's one of my favorites.
no, that shit.
Princess Diana, the diamonds ain't cheap.
They're not. Apparently they're not.
Word up. You know, as we wind down, you know, I read that you're working on an album too.
Yes, sir.
Can we talk about that? What does a Boi-1da album sound like? What does it look like?
So right now it sounds great. It's just me making great music with all my collaborators that I've collaborated with throughout the years, and it's just great music, man. I'm just having fun, and it's just me putting together a fun project of music that I think is cool and that I think people will enjoy, and just moments, and also a lot of artists that you wouldn't expect to be on songs with each other. That's my thing, you know, just the blending of different artists.
Do we have a title for that? Working title?
Working on it.
Working on it. Okay. Are we gonna get that in 2025 or?
Yeah, I'm trying my best to get it. So it should be out 2025.
Okay. Now I know you tried to rap once upon a time. Are you gonna be spitting on this album?
Fuck no. I'm trash. I was not nice, bro.
What were you rapping on? It wasn't Boi-1da at the time, was it?
Yeah, my name is Matthew, so I used to go by Mathematics.
Well, Cole was a therapist.
Huh?
Cole was a therapist, mathematics.
Trash. That's all I can say, bro. I don't know. Rapping wasn't for me. For one, I'm not a guy that like enjoys like that attention like that.
Right.
I just don't have anything to rap about, bro. You know, like the latter years of my life, I grew up in the suburbs. What the hell am I gonna rap about that anybody cares about? You know,
Right.
Ice cream.
There you go.
Exactly, yo. Baskin Robbins. Nobody wants to hear me rap.
But when it comes to artists, how do you just select who makes the cut?
For me, it doesn't matter. If you make something dope, it's just, it makes the cut for me.
Okay.
It's like, I'm not just, I don't need, it's not a project that it's gonna be, oh my God, every song is a superstar on it. It's just gonna be great music, you know? Like, I want great artists, great songs, and, you know, just collaboration. And that's really what it is for me.
Right. I was gonna say, do you have any like pressure of delivering an album that's like matches your resume? Like, do you have any expectations for this project?
No, I don't have any expectations, and I don't have any pressure because I know it's gonna be good.
Right.
So it's like, and I don't care about that stuff anyways. I'm just trying to put out good music and have people enjoy it. If 100 people like it, if 1,000 people like it, 1,000,000 people like it, I'll be happy with whatever, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm just expressing myself and making music.
Right. And who are some of the new artists that you're checking for this year? I know you're trying to get locked in with Central C.
Yeah, Cinch, that's my guy, man. Cinch is it, yeah. Love Cinch, love Dave.
Some of them UK guys, man.
They're going crazy right now.
Crazy.
They're coming outside now, you know? There's a lot going on, man. A lot of dope artists from Toronto, from my city too. Savannah Ray, dope artist. So good. Man, there's so much. I'm getting like a brain on it. Like, there's gonna be a lot of dope artists on the project.
Well, that's what's up, man. Well, I'm looking forward to everything you got locked in. Boi-1da, I don't know if you're gonna. Oh, you open to taking some questions?
Yeah. I'm okay.
All right, cool. So if you have any questions lined up for Boi-1da, don't be shy. Step up to the mic. We'll take a few of them. You wanna go ahead, D? That's cool. Shout out to the homie D-Nick. We got dressed together because we got this. So you sure you wear the pink?
Right, pink.
Gary? Oh, shit, all right. I'm D-Nick, by the way, Cincinnati, Ohio, this bitch just got a...
Ohio.
It's crazy, B.Dot, you asked me about the documentary. I was gonna ask that, so I'm gonna pivot. 2 quick questions.
Yep.
One, what's like one song that you're most proud of that you produced? 2, if you could choose one artist to lock in and make a whole album with, not named Drake, who would it be?
Artists that I would lock in with. I have a lot of fun working with Travis Scott. I feel like me and him, like I match his energy every time we work together, and it's mad fun. He's bouncing off the walls, and he makes the shit fun. You know what I'm saying? I would do a dope project with him. I think. I feel like I'd do a dope project with anybody, to be honest. I always just match everybody's energy. What was the first question?
Song you most proud of making, like.
Song that I'm most proud of making. That's tough because anything that comes out, I'm proud of like everything that I do. You know, it's like asking you who's your favorite kid. There is one?
You gotta have one. You gotta have one.
One?
What's like, alright, so how about this? What's a song that you produce that people kind of sleep on that's like a personal favorite?
People sleep on. Yeah, this one is a real deep cut, but maybe like Only You by Party Next Door. And then Popcorn did a remix to it that was crazy. Yeah, Popcorn's remix to that was nuts. And I feel like nobody heard that shit. And I'm like, you guys didn't hear that? That's crazy. But like, that shit was hard. So, and you know, Popcorn's from Jamaica. That's my brother, and I love working with him too. So that was a cool moment for me. Deep cut though, but
I think I got deep cut too. One of my favorites is Eminem on the Recovery album. Was it Seduction?
Yeah.
Seduction was fire.
That's a great.
And you did Cold Wind Blows too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, I think that
might have been Just Blaze, but yeah, Seduction was fire.
Yeah, Seduction was great, man. That was another one. That's great. It's kind of hard for me to remember because I've done so many songs, bro. Because even you said that, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot today. Then you get the publishing check, like, oh yeah, I remember.
Exactly.
Drew, what's good?
What's up? Hello, everyone. That's one question. It's kind of from when you was asking about the hits. I was curious if there was any particular song, like when it was laying down in the track that you just knew that was one of those ones because you have so many. Like if you just heard one of them, he's like, yeah, I know this one's gonna take off.
That was probably Work by Rihanna. Like as soon as I heard the version, the final version of that, I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. You're out of here with this one. Like
more O's on the check, right?
Yeah, for sure. But like a lot of the time, I can't even lie. Sometimes you don't even know what's gonna be a hit. But that one specifically, I was like, that's a smash. You know, so and it did what it did. So a lot of the time, you don't even know. Like, cause like I said, best I ever had when we were working on So Far Gone. We thought Uptown was gonna be the hit. Like me and Drake, we did Best I Ever Had in Uptown last song, and we're like, yo, Uptown is it, bro. And Wayne and Bun B's.
Yeah, y'all were bugging, because I'm telling you, when I heard that, I'm telling you, like, this is the blog era, like, you in the crib listening to music off the internet, and I'm just like, I think this guy's different. That record, I knew that y'all was out of here with that one.
Yeah. No, we love the song. We're like, yo, this song's fire, but we just didn't think that would be the one.
It had all the elements, but it was just the radio, and then like it's catchy and it's good for women.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like I love Griselda too, but sometimes you gotta switch it up. You know?
Hell yeah, it's true. It's true.
Thanks, Drew. Nice shirt. Appreciate you, man. He's my friend.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lottie. I'm a journalist.
Hey, Lottie. You on all your profiles.
So one of the questions I have for you is, can you tell us another story of like an impossible situation when you had to get some music done? I love the story you just told about being sick as hell, making those tracks with J.Cole. Did anything else like that where you really struggled but you made it work?
Really struggled but made it work. You know what? Usually everything just works out, you know? That was probably the I swear, that was probably the hardest thing because I was so sick. Like I had like the 7 out of 7, whatever, the Delta or whatever at that time. So it was tough. Like I was like falling asleep, but I made it happen. That was definitely like my toughest moment to make music because it was like physical more than mental, you know? I feel like a lot of mental challenges, I'm pretty like good at, you know, just like weaving my way around anything. And even if it doesn't happen, I don't care. If it's like a situation, like, you know what, we're trying to work this out and make this happen, and it doesn't, I don't feel any way about it because it wasn't supposed to happen.
Well, that's real. And then second question I have for you is, are there any ventures outside of music that you're excited about, whether it's like opening a restaurant or writing a book or anything like that you're working on?
Outside of music, yeah, I've been, well, it's kind of outside of music, but it's still music related. I recently was named the ambassador for Canada Soccer Music for World Cup. Thank you. So, World Cup? Yeah, so I'm making music for the World Cup for Canada, and it's pretty exciting because they put the keys in my hand, and I'm just able to kind of just creatively be free and push out ideas that I want to do, and it's kind of fun because it's definitely outside the comforts of what I usually do. So you know, it's fun. It's kind of like making theme music for a sport, you know. So.
Super cool. Congrats on everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you too.
Let's get a couple more.
Yeah, sir.
What's up, Boi-1da? I've been a huge fan, man. First and foremost, my name is Oz, AWZ. From the DMV, DC to be specific. So all my DMV folks in here, man, make sure y'all represent. I'm actually a producer myself. Went to Full Sail, and I definitely relate to you being ill. I actually had sickle cell and be trying to cook up decent times. Like you said, it's tough, but like you said, being on that medicine and then being sleepy, I fell asleep to Loops before, so I definitely relate to that. And it's kind of crazy sometimes. Like I fell asleep to a loop, woke up to it, and like killed the beat afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna go one day. But I got 2 questions for you. So first and foremost, beat storage, right? I came across this platform called Off Top. I'm not sure how many of y'all know about that. Off Top is a cool little YouTube, man. Y'all check them out. But they also got like a beat storage thing. I was just curious on like, how do you kind of, keep your files, stems, track outs, MP3s, waves. How you kind of keep all that organized when you work with so many artists?
I have a huge terabyte hard drive that I use as well, but I also store my stuff on a cloud as well. So I have like 2 different ways to store it. And what's crazy is I've stored every beat I've ever made. I have every single beat I've ever made. Even my very first beat, I still have it.
Wow,
that's
dope. That's dope.
I've always had my stuff on a hard drive and kept it. And I'm very very adamant and organized on.
You gotta be.
Of course. Even like sometimes I don't even I save everything. Even if the idea I don't think is going anywhere, I save it because you never know. I've been back to ideas. Reopened an idea and it was like, oh, this sounds trash, but I figured
to create a way to kind of flip it.
To kind of flip it and it turns into something,
I appreciate you saying that because I definitely got like how I do my beat storage, I do it by year, by month.
Yeah.
And if I feel like the idea wasn't all that good, I scrap it. But if I'm in a studio session and I don't know like what type of vibe or direction, I might open one of those sessions and next thing you know, it's a whole vibe in there. So
I don't think you should scrap anything because I have a cool story. I work with a producer named Vinyls from
Shout out to Vinyls.
New York. What up, my heart? I'm on my heart attack. What's it called? So basically, he played me this beat that was like kind of like an idea, and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna delete this," and I'm like, I heard it, and I was like, "Bro, what? Like, bro, delete this? It's kind of hard." And I ended up tweaking it and adding some like extra drums on it, and the song ended up being "Fuck With Me, You Know I Got It" by Jay-Z and Rick Ross, and he almost deleted that. So I was like, bro, don't ever delete anything. Like, just keep everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything is just an idea. You should just keep it. You know, if you don't have the storage, like I understand, but like I find a way to just keep everything because you never know what could be something. Yeah, you know, you might
definitely burn that to memory.
Yeah, because you might not be feeling that the same day, but like you hear the next day and it could trigger something else.
And it might be something dope for somebody else to collab on. Like you said, he ain't like it, but you found something to do, something to flip it with.
And I've done that with myself too, where I have beats where I'm half finished and I'll send it to another producer. I'll send it to like Diesel. I'll send it to like my brother. I'll send it to like Minus or somebody, and they'll flip it into something like amazing, and it'll turn out into something, you know. So,
well, thank you, man. Thank you. And last question: produce an album. I'm still up and coming. I haven't really got too many huge credit. Mostly local artists, still build myself. But I'm thinking about doing a producer tape. And you know, somebody in your position, I know that you know they do like Alchemist. I love how he kind of collabs with folks, or Mustard, how he kind of had like a producer tape and he just bring all these artists on. But I really love how like some of the younger producers or up-and-coming producers do straight up instrumental albums. Would you think about doing something like that? Would you got any input on how you might do an instrumental album?
Yeah, I think that would be dope. Like I was thinking about doing an instrumental album and having like some like Easter eggs on there, you know?
Okay.
Cool idea, you know?
Maybe in the future?
Yeah.
I'll be looking out for that, for sure. No, that's all the time I got. I just want to use my little business card, man.
I'll take it. There you go. That's what Dreamvillefest is all about. I have some heat on it, man. Yes, sir. All right. Got a couple more. We're gonna wrap it up. One more.
It's crazy to see you, Wanda.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, so far I came out when I was a freshman in college, and so just that it's 2025 and it's still the same dudes on top. Like it's crazy. Like this whole thing's crazy. But you were talking before about how you try to avoid. I feel like it's almost a social media thing. The pitfalls of everything sounding the same, because like we're all kind of taking in the same stuff, so it's going to come out some way. And I'm a chef, and so I'm really conscious of what I'm taking in because I don't want to I don't want it to come out in my art, you know what I mean? I don't want my art to be like the next guy's. So that's like one way you can do it, is just not, you know, try to control what you consume. I'm wondering, you know, it could be for producers or for any type of creative, just tips on how to stay yourself in this day and age when we have so many inputs and so much stuff that gets into your head.
Yeah, I think inadvertently, like, I always tell everybody comes to me and said, yo, you didn't hear this? And I'm like, I honestly didn't hear it. Like, I live under a rock. I think the best way to do it is kind of just be in your own world, but like, you know, definitely listen to what's going on, but don't be too influenced by it. I feel like you need to always like carve your own path and do your own thing. You could obviously take from what's going on and like take certain sounds, bounces, and whatnot, but I think it's very important to have your own identity if you want to strive, you know, and just be a leader, you know. It's like push forward and be a leader. Just do stuff outside the box, because like, you know, if everybody's doing the same thing, everybody's going upstream, you're going upstream, you don't really stand out, right? So, you know, kind of just do your own thing.
And if it's not 808s, what's next?
Shit, 909s. 707s.
Thank you so much.
There you go. No, I feel like, yeah, appreciate you, but I feel like, I don't know, it could be anything, you know? It could be anything. Yeah.
Right on. Appreciate you.
All right. Close out after you.
My guy, Boi-1da.
What's up, bro?
Appreciate you, bro. I'm DH, artist producer from Houston, living in Atlanta. For one, I just want to say thank you for your contributions and for being a creative for like me, like a North Star, you know what I'm saying, and always giving us something to strive for, inspiring us. So thank you for that. We hopped on a Zoom call a couple years ago, and you gave me some real good sampling advice, so I appreciate you for that too. And my question is, when it comes to you being like a forefront trendsetter, and this is like, I mean this question in like a technical sense, one thing about you is your bounce is like unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you constantly redevelop and architect your signature bounce, but yet it's never the same, bro? Like, every beat you do is different, but it's like, damn, that nigga wonder, that bounce is crazy. Don't matter if it's hip hop, R&B, you know, whatever. Like, you can really like nerd out with the question, cause like I understand. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. No, it's really about just being there. Like, I really hear shit, and sometimes I'm just like, you guys are really gonna do the same like bop every time. So like, I would literally just go into it like unorthodox. Like, I put like a kick or an 808 in like an awkward place, and sometimes it sounds good. Like, for instance, like when I was doing like a song like The Language by Drake, I was really like,
Big tune.
Yep, The Language is crazy. I'm like, I don't want to do, like, it's obviously a trap beat, but you know, like the 808s are coming in odd spots, and like the hi-hats are coming in super odd spots. You know, so it's like, it's just more interesting to me. It stands out, you know. And I remember that song came out, and there's like a million remixes to it. Young Thug did a remix. I think Metro did a remix. You know, and it's just like it just stands out. Like, I just don't want to do the same thing all the time. Like, it's cool, you know, you get a couple off with like a bop because it works, but sometimes you gotta really just like show out and you know, just be different. You know, in order to lead. You know what I'm saying? So I always pride myself in trying to just do unorthodox stuff, like something unorthodox.
Right.
Like, it maybe sounding normal the whole way, but like, at least I'm gonna do one thing that's not in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So,
like you did on Mafia, I was watching a video where you did that shit on accident. You hit the keyboard and it made this crazy 808 pattern. It was like,
Mob Ties,
Mob Ties, yeah.
That was literally legitimately an accident. Yeah. But I was like, yo, that shit sounds hard.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Yeah, appreciate you. And shout out to you for that beat pack. I still be kicking up shit with them drums, bro.
Oh, thank you. New one coming out just now.
Hey, I'm ready for it, bro. I'm ready.
North Carolina. And NC.
I'm Ezekiel. I am from Atlanta, actually. I go by that way. I'm a producer as well. So I have two questions for you. So I remember watching your producer Brian interview, and I remember you said something about you coming up off beat battles, and he was always the winner. My first question is that, would you ever like host a beat battle like, here in the States or just in general?
Yeah, for sure. I've hosted beat battles in Toronto. I've done the Battle of the Beatmakers in Toronto. I hosted a beat battle in Memphis one time where I found, it's crazy, he didn't even win the battle, but I found a producer named 6 Cents that I was like, yo, this guy's the best guy to me in the whole thing. He didn't win, but he ended up, I ended up working with him and signing him, and he ended up doing Don't for Bryson Tiller, and he did he did it wasn't Don't, it wasn't Exchange. Which one was it again? You know, man, the whole album. I'll say this. He was the first person to put me on a Bryson Tiller. I made 6 God with him. I made Running Through the Six with him. I made a lot of stuff with him, and he's a great producer. He also did a Location for Khalid. What? Mad stuff. And he has a lot of hits, man. And he was a guy that was a beat battle in the middle of nowhere in Memphis. And yeah, he didn't win, and he was just dope. So.
Okay, cool. So my next question. I'm 21. I'm about to graduate college. I'm still on the hunger. I ain't got no plaques, I got little connections. But if you were to start over in 2025, what would be like your first steps into getting to where you are right now?
Good question. I think I would do the exact same thing, which is like what you're doing right now, like coming to events like this. You know, just putting yourself out there, speaking. You know, I was a shy kid growing up, so like, you know, I would even like to come up and speak. I probably wouldn't even do something like this. So you're doing more than I would do. So you know, just I would do the exact same thing I do. I join beat battles. I go to events. I try to meet new people and just keep an open air. And shit, you're doing that. You're doing that more than I'm doing it. So good job to you.
Thank you. So, I appreciate your time.
There you go, and there you have it, man. Please make some noise one more time for the living legend. Boi-1da, Boi-1da. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. 2025.
Appreciate you.